Hi, Alan Wood here with the Alan Wood team of RE/MAX Plus, and here I am today with Vincent Moranti, and he's one of our local attorneys who we use, and also a longtime friend. We went to college together way back when.
1988, Alan.
Yeah, Nazareth College. Oh, we should tell it. No, I don't care. Well, actually, I got in real estate right out of college, which is rare because that doesn't normally happen. And when did you start law? Right out of college? Went to law school?
I went to law school at Western Michigan, and then graduated in '91, and been doing it since.
Well, fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, today we are talking about a number of the addendas that are included with the contract. There are probably 15, 20 of them. There's a lot of them that are out there. And we're just going to go through a few here and there. The first one we're going to talk about is the FHA Amendatory Clause. And what this talks about is, for example, if someone's going with an FHA loan, Federal Housing Authority or Administration, if you're going with that type of loan, there's a clause in here that there's no side agreements between you and the seller that the bank does not know about, is number one. And number two, Vinny, is, for example, appraisal. There's a price in here that if the house sells for $200,000 and it has to then appraise for that purchase price of $200,000, what would happen if it appraised for $195,000, for example?
Well, then the buyer would be able to get out of the contract.
Okay.
They wouldn't be obligated to go forward with the purchase of the contract. Anytime the federal government is involved, there's always a lot of T's to cross and I's to dot. But if the appraisal does not come back equaling the purchase price, you can legally get out of that contract.
So it could be that or higher, of course. But
Correct.
now, question for you with that then. Say it came back at 195. Can the seller and buyer negotiate and come to an agreement on, say, 195, which is appraised for, and then the buyer can stay with the contract?
Sure, the parties can always renegotiate a contract. Obviously, it has to be in writing because it has to do with real estate.
Correct.
Obviously, talk to Alan, your realtor. Always keep in touch with him, and you can always rearrange the purchase contract and renegotiate the price at a later date as long as it's in writing.
Good. And with that, if it did appraise for 195, for example, and in this market being so hot, the buyer didn't want to lose the house. Purchase price was $200,000. The buyer then could also come up with the extra $5,000 in cash to lower their mortgage amount and purchase price. But the seller would still get their $200,000 then. So that would be a possibility as well.
Sure, you might get a gift from grandma. Grandma says, I want to give you $5,000 put towards the house. Obviously, you might have to get a gift letter. That opens up another ball of wax. But you can always rearrange the structure of a deal as long as it's in writing and you go over it with your realtor.
And that's the same also then right below that on the same form is the VA option clause, which is for veterans and the veteran loan, and it pretty much spells out similar terms to the contract as the FHA Amendatory Clause.
Correct. Same rules apply. Everything having to do with real estate and writing, go over it with your realtor, and you can basically massage the deal the way you want as long as everybody's upfront about it,
And the bank knows.
and the bank knows, and the feds know. So that's important.
Well, thanks. So that is the Amendatory Clause, and we want to thank Vincent for joining us today. I call him Vinny because we're longtime friends, and so thank you, Vinny.
No, my pleasure. Thanks for having me.